Hello, I'm Michael Gregson, and today I'm talking to the immigration law specialist, Don Susantha Katugampala, the founder of the Fairfield Lawyers in Melbourne, in Australia. Don Susantha, what are the opportunities for skilled professionals to immigrate to Australia?
Australia has a continuing skill migration program. So therefore, the skilled professionals and technical people are welcome to Australia on skill migration. It's an ongoing, continuing program. Australia attracts 200,000 people a year under skill migration program. And it is that Australian economy requires this new skilled people to continue the economic growth and economic sustainability. There is a bipartisan policy by both political parties, the governing party and the opposition, to attract skilled migrants to Australia. So therefore, skill migration is very active in Australia.
Who qualifies as a skilled professional?
People who have skills, degree qualification, or diploma or recognized trade qualifications. And with good English and right age, work experience, they are able to apply for skill migration. Generally, there are skill occupations that are in demand where they can apply for skill migration without a sponsor independently. It means that their occupation is in demand. For an example, IT professionals, accountants, financial professionals, architects, nurses, medical practitioners, and so forth are in demand to apply for skill migration. And again, in addition to that, state governments in Australia, states and territory governments, has a sponsorship program. They do nominate people for skill migration. They want to bring these people under a state-sponsored, state-nominated skill migration program to fulfill the skill needs in that state. So therefore, Australia has a skill immigration program under independent skill migration and also state-sponsored skill migration, also employer-nominated skill migration, where the employers can nominate someone to come and work for that particular employer. So that's the opportunities for skill migration.
So tell me about the process. What does a skilled professional have to do to qualify?
Firstly, they need to assess their skills. The skills need to be recognized by the Australian government. Under the legislation, there are authorized skill assessing authorities, skill assessing bodies for different skill occupations. And these skill assessing bodies specialize in the particular skill occupations, skills. And therefore, they have the authority to assess the skills of an overseas applicant, overseas qualified person. And once that skill assessment is successful, the applicant is able to lodge an expression of interest with the Australian government. That's the starting point. The EOI's expression of interest is a starting point for skill migration once you obtain a successful skill assessment. But then again, at the same time, the applicant must have a successful IELTS result unless they hold an acceptable passport. British, Canadian, Irish, US or New Zealand passports are exempted from English exam. Otherwise, every applicant from any parts of the world must have an IELTS result or alternative English result, successful result, to be able to lodge their expression of interest. And then, if they are successful in the process, the Australian government send an invitation to the particular applicant to make an application for migration. Upon the invitation, the applicant can lodge a visa application with the Australian government. With the Department of Immigration and Border Protection, the applicant lodges an application with a prescribed application fee. And then that application will be assessed by an Australian government officer. And you may have a positive outcome or a negative outcome. So that's the simple process for a skill migration applicant.
Can people just go online and do it?
It's not that simple. It sounds simple on the website. Nevertheless, getting the right skill assessment successfully and classifying you to the right occupation requires some technical skills. And also, when you lodge your expression of interest, to be able to have the best chance of success to receive an invitation, and also to be able to have a successful outcome in your application, you need to make sure that you get things right. That's where a proper legal advisor comes in with proper understanding of the migration regulations. The regulations are much more extensive than what you see on the web, what you see online. So therefore, if your advisor understands the prescribed law, the regulations, and the policy behind it, then an applicant will be able to achieve a successful outcome in their skill assessment and also in the process of getting an invitation and lodging an application and finally having a successful visa outcome. It can be a permanent residence visa or provisional residence visa or a student visa or a visitor visa, any visa. I think there's technical expertise that you require.
So if you make a simple error, you could ruin the whole application.
It's if you make an error, your application can be refused. And if your application is refused, then you won't get a refund of your application fees. That's completely gone. Applying to immigrate to Australia is an expensive business. The application fees are quite expensive. So therefore, you're risking your application fees. And also, once you're refused, the record is in the system that you're refused. And when you make another application, so if it's a genuine error, genuine mistake, then certainly a future application will not be affected. But if your application is refused on an intentional mistake, or by giving misleading or incorrect information, or incorrect or misleading documents, then certainly you have exclusion periods that you will not be able to make applications for a period of 3 years. So therefore, you need to be careful in making these visa applications. It's not simple as what you see on the website, and you need to understand the law behind it. The immigration laws are drafted, designed by expert lawyers, finally received the approval of the Attorney General of Australia, and then those laws are implemented by a government department. And most of the officers got their legal background. So if you are an applicant, and if you are an engineer or an accountant or an architect who may not have that right expertise in doing this legal stuff, then receiving good advice will prevent any refusals and wasting your money. Immigration laws are not that simple, so it's finding the right pathways and receiving right advice to be able to obtain your result and successful outcome for your visa application. That's the bottom line.
So if you qualify under the various schemes to live in Australia, why should you do it? Why should you spend all this money and all this effort to move to Australia?
Australia is a great country. Australia is a stable economy. Australia has unlimited opportunities for you. Australia will give you a stable, great lifestyle. And also Australia is a place where you can live the way you want to live. You can live as an Aussie or an American or a British or a Sri Lankan or Indian or Chinese. So we have all that opportunity in Australia. So therefore, Australia is a Western country where you can live the way you want to live. Great place to live. So people are interested in immigrating to Australia. It is the best destination for immigration for lots of people in this part of the world.
Don Susantha, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Michael. Aiboan.
Aiboan.